everyone, it's Libby from Meister Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Warramai First Nations people and absolutely thrilled to have you, your guides, my guides and the universal energies with us today. What am I going to have a look at today? Okay, I'll give you a heads up, this is going to be a little bit of a long reading potentially because I'm actually going to do a bit of a deep dive into China. China is in our part of the world. It is one of Australia's biggest trading partners, so it is fairly significant to us down under, on the top of the world, down under. Okay, so what's happened is that, China's been in nearly 3 years of very strict lockdowns. I know some people who know some people business associates of friends that are in China. They are 12 months ago they were incredibly fed up. I did warn, don't talk about it on any aspect. We understand how you feel because never quite know who's listening, but they're completely fed up and they are at the stage where that when the opportunity arises for them to leave the country, they are intending on leaving if they can. So what's happened is nearly 3 years worth of very strict lockdowns, like literally locked in their homes and their apartment buildings. And their apartment buildings, for a lot of them it's a 2 metre by 2 metre dwelling. It's not really somewhere where you can actually be confined for any length of time. So the big issue they've got in China is they've gone for this zero COVID policy with no actual exit plan from that policy. They have very, very low vaccination rates. I believe the over 80s are only something like 20% vaccinated. The over 60s are only 50% vaccinated. And there's a great distrust for the actual Chinese developed vaccination, and the boys are going off from the cat ball over there. They're agreeing with me on this reading completely with what I'm saying. There's a distrust about the Chinese government-produced vaccinations. They have not let any foreign vaccinations in the country, that I understand. The Chinese vaccination doesn't have a very high protection rate compared to the overseas. Yeah, I know, boys, I'm with you on this one. And so it's the fear is if they reduce the restrictions, that COVID is going to go through China like we call a Bondi tram, the rest of the world probably calls a dose of salts, and that the health system is going to be excruciatingly overwhelmed and there is going to be deaths in the millions. So that's what the government's really concerned about because of the policies they've put in prior. This is why China's in this situation. Now what's happened is the youth of China, they're pretty tech savvy, and they are getting on social media platforms and they are seeing instances like the World Cup where nobody is masked in huge stadiums. They are seeing Xi Jinping meeting other world leaders at these big conferences where nobody is masked, and they're really starting to question, well, how come the rest... They're really starting to question and now understand that the rest of the world has moved on and is actually living their lives, whereas the Chinese people are still under these horrific restrictions. There have been mass protests occurring in the streets that the police are out in force in quelling. And what has set that off is that there was an apartment fire a few weeks back where I believe 10 people died in the fire, and the reason believed, I don't know whether this is true or not, that they died in the fire is because they were literally barricaded in the apartment building and could not escape. So it's just all very complicated, and there's a lot of different levels going on there. So what I want to have a look at is I'm just going to have a look at China in general. What's happening is that the police force has been out in force. Censorship is really clamping down. And from what I have read, bots are absolutely flooding the social media that is accessible in China to obscure actual facts that may be coming out, actual information that may be coming out, and deriding this information that's coming out in en masse. So it appears that it's not true, but also forcing it to the bottom of feeds as well. So I'll just first of all have a look at China in general to see how it's going. I want to have a look going into the future with my intuition cards. At the moment I'm using my mystical manga cards, and I also want to have a look what effect this is going to have on the global economy. Now, what's also happening in China is they're having I believe, a declining population rate, which is not a bad thing. And if you have a look, there is about 150 countries that are having declining population rates, and their populations are expected, their natural populations are expected to be almost halved by 2100, in the year 2100. Through the declining population rates. However, immigration will keep those populations relatively stable, but overall there is a declining population rate in the world. Okay, now I have waffled for nearly 7 minutes, way past time I drew some cards. So just some, getting a really prickly scalp here, chills up and down me. I don't know whether they're telling me not to read or not. Let's have a look at what's going on in China at this moment. China, in regards to COVID, at this moment, things, the boys are going, still here with me. Things are being, this is the government. The hierarchy, the hierophant, but it is the hierarchy. As the government is in full control at the moment. But just tell me, going forward, China, where it is at the stage, where it's going forward with COVID, what didn't want to go in. Okay, thank you. I'll keep shuffling that, keep shuffling. That was my signifier card that popped out there. Show you it in a second. Right, okay. Let's have a look. Right, the signifier that popped out is they are currently reaping what they sow, and this is in regards to health. Pentacles are health, wealth, Mother Earth, protection, security, etc. But this is reaping what they sow in regards to health. So what it is their policies over the last 3 years have come to a head, basically. So they're now reaping what has been sown in the past. Challenged by the King of Cups, or the second signifier is the King of Cups. So this is about calm, cool, collected, a leadership figure. Okay, thank you. This is the government is really trying to emphasize to people just to remain calm. They're trying to follow, okay, thank you. They're trying to follow the same path that they have in the past, and they are determined. How do I put this? They are. The guys are telling me, and I can't think how to actually put it, because they're telling me diplomatic, calm, diplomatic, but I personally am fighting back against that. But that's what the government is presenting, is they're trying to present calm diplomacy in regards to this. But we'll see where it leads. Okay, base of the reading is a lot of insecurity in China at the moment regarding the health. Regarding this health situation. They really don't know where to go. Okay, thank you guys. Oh, my ball just flickered then. In the past we've got the Page of Swords, so this is the truth. leaking out. This is what I was saying when the youth with their tech savvy on social media are learning the truth. So this is the youth learning the truth, and the ball is going off in. This is the youth learning the truth. And that's in the past. So they know what's going on elsewhere in the world. Okay. The message. Oh, I suddenly feel extremely hot reading this. I do apologise. Whew. Lightheaded and hot. This is the government trying to put out this message of everything is hunky-dory, and the four of wands I always get is that I read it differently to some other readers. Some see it as a celebration, some see it as a wedding, but I see this as the messages confining, holding these people confined. So the messaging that's going out is still everything's hunky-dory, we'll be right, and sticking the path of confinement. Okay, immediate future, full illumination. These two characters, full illumination, but the two characters in this don't look particularly happy. So I think what's going to happen is that the government policy is going to be fully exposed for what it is, and the government ain't happy in regards to it. And the people, thank you, the people are not happy in regards to this full exposure of what's really happening. Externally, yeah, okay. Put this card down. Sorry, I just feel like bursting into tears right now. I put this card down, and so this is going into the future now. This is what is here now. This is all into the future. I put this card down, and this card usually for me means authentic reform. But the sensation I got as soon as I put it down was death. Entertainment purposes only. It's not very entertaining, I know. But externally, yeah, okay. I don't know whose death. I don't know whether it's death from COVID, and the boys are going off on the ball at the moment. But I just got the feeling of it, whether it's protesters, whether it's COVID. I'll do a clarifier on that in a moment. Internally, it's all about the lies and being watched. The lies are being exposed. The stealing of the truth. This message that the government, entertainment only, don't come after me, Chinese government, but it is very, yeah. Okay, so we've got the youth in the past here discovering the truth, and internally in China, whom's watching? Right. Internally, it is those that are trying to bring forward the truth that are being watched. Okay, thank you. So please, if you are in China and getting this message, or you know anyone there, just please warn them to be very careful. I know we need action, but the government is watching everything in regards to this truth coming out. Hopes and fears, page of coins. Again, okay, dreaming big, working hard. No, it's not. It's with this, the truth is coming out, the message is coming out, the youth are bringing this message out in regards to the health. This is all about health, these pentacles in this reading. Okay. Right. Outcome. Those, yeah, okay. Those that are making the decisions are in this gilded cage and protected health-wise. They've been vaccinated with the Western vaccinations. multiple times. Those that are in charge are making the decisions. This is the woman of independent means, but she is in this gilded cage, and her only companion is the bird. So not getting the message from the actual outside of this cage, and is living in this life of, well, if I say relative luxury, but they're not getting the message from outside of this gilded cage. They are protected, walking away from what does not serve them emotionally. And I think what's happening is this is those in government, and these are the people. The giving and receiving of help, health-wise. Some are going to get, and some are going to not. Okay, Queen of Swords. So a strong feminine energy bringing forward this truth, but loss. There's going to be a lot of loss. There are 2 cups still standing, but there is going to be loss. It is the most vulnerable that are going to be affected, that are going to be wounded. The Moon card. So this this policy that is failing is going to be fully exposed for what it is. There is going to be an offer of help come forward from the West. At the base we have sabotage and betrayal. Having to be seen, but we've got these mercenary actions. There's going to have to be a new start, stepping out with faith and courage with this new start. But at the moment there's a lot of delusion occurring. The truth is going to, the youth are going to pack up this truth and move on to bring it forward. Only the truth will set China free. Okay, that's the message I'm getting. Only the truth will set them free. It's going to be a lot of heartbreak and loss, and messages coming forward. This worries me. This worries me. Okay. Just bring pendulum down for a little bit of a looky. Oh, the boys are full on this morning. Without hesitation, they're straight in. Does this death card... Oops, sorry. Okay, yep. Is this death card meaning actual death? Actual death. I'm just feeling so heavy in regards to this. It's only a tiny little yes. If they... Okay, can I ask a question? If the Chinese regime actually choose truth and honesty and openness, can they prevent these deaths? Oh, it's a definite no. Want me to ask another question? Will China open up in the near future? That's a yes. Okay. That was regarding COVID. As I said, it's going to be a little bit long today. I want to have a look at the regime itself. Please don't shoot the messenger. Entertainment only. This is the Xi Jinping regime. Xi Jinping recently Tower card. Xi Jinping recently made him... boy, this has got really weird vibes about it. Xi Jinping recently made himself basically Supreme Leader for life. It is supposed to be an elected position. Has not gone. The vibe I got from it was it has not gone down well with the populace, but a lot of populists don't know yet that that's what's happened. Those that were dissenting within the government were removed prior to it taking place, and it is literally the cameras were on everybody. You clapped and you cheered, or you were targeted, is what I got. Okay. Excuse me. Itchy. Yeah, got the foundation working together for the foundation card just dropped out there. Okay, tell me about this Xi Jinping as the Supreme Leader. Just tell me about Xi Jinping as the Supreme Leader. Going forward, Xi Jinping is the Supreme Leader. Going forward, I'll try and make this fairly quick. Nip through it. Page of Swords. The youth bringing the... Oh, I'll just pop you up. The guys are going off when I said that. This is about the youth bringing forward the truth. The youth bringing forward the truth. But it's going to be difficult. The messaging is going to be difficult to get out there. Emotionally overwhelming. Full illumination in the past. This is the Xi Jinping presidency. Okay, right. This is him setting himself up as... I love it when they correct me, and I know Joy does as well. This is him setting himself up as Supreme Leader going forward, and it's making people, those beneath that are in the limelight, very uncomfortable. That's in the past. This is about, okay, what we've got here, foundation of this reading, it's all about relationships and partnerships. Oh, tingle right up my spine and into my head when I said that. So let's have a look at this. This is about the reaching for new partnerships, new relationships, new agreements, which are somewhat overwhelming. Right. It's not going to work. This overreach. We'll look into this a little bit further in a minute. This overreach is not going to work. This moral corruption. And that's basically what it is. This moral corruption is going to... in the immediate future, they're going to find themselves out in the cold somehow. Okay, externally. Right. Is there, and those that are in that neck of the woods can tell me. If you can't tell me on public forum, please let me know privately via email. I will not disclose whoever gives me any information privately by email, because I'm very aware of what's going on in the world in regards to surveillance. But is there a female, an inspiration, and the ball is going off when I said that, is there a female who is coming forward, a great orator, who is inspirational, who, whether it's is it by a blog? That's what I got, a blog, a podcast. Externally, there is this feminine energy that is inspiring. Internally, again, it is this feminine energy, and I think it is this female figure She is setting new boundaries of what is acceptable or not, and she is standing on that parapet of those boundaries with the Ace of Swords in her hands, and this one has Ace of Wands in her hands, and this figure has the Ace of Wands in her hand, and they are defending the people of China and inspiring them with this fire energy. Please let me know. Okay. Hopes and fears. Well, here's Xi Jinping himself, the Emperor, the Patriarchal, my way or the highway. Sorry, I'll lift that ever so slightly. He has set himself up as Emperor for life, literally. So this is the regime. The moral corruption, set himself up as Emperor for life. And that is a fear for the people of China. And here we have this devil energy. You guys don't need me to explain what it is, but it's literally just chained to power, greed, toxicity, abuse, corruption, all of that horrific stuff. This is the outcome, is that this, it's all intertwined. This loss is going, and this moral corruption, we've got the devil on top of this moral corruption. We've got this loss is going to be linked to this devil corruption energy. We have the Emperor in the fears. However, we have this star of hope. And this is this figure. Please, if you know who this figure is, quietly let me know. And here we have the Knight of Swords, the harsh truth coming forward. Goes back to this Page of Swords as the signifier card, bringing the message out about the messages, the messages that are entrapping the people of China. There is going to be a defeat and victory. Are the oligarchs going to rise against him? A lot of anxiety going on at the moment, a lot of illusion, delusion, smoke and mirrors, but then we have this Queen of Swords energy again. On the base we have the Queen of Cups. There's something that has not yet been revealed that's going to come forward. Love all these queens coming out. Wands, Swords and Cups. I'm just getting this. There is a blogger or a podcaster or an influencer or someone of that energy who is cutting through. Okay, Queen of Cups. So there's something that's yet to be revealed that is going to be quite shattering. It's going to lead to restriction of the government. The Empress card, something new is going to come forward. Something new is going to come forward that's going to lead to this justice. Okay. So hopefully someone in my lovely community, or whether you are in that community, can shed some light on what I'm seeing in regards to those particular cards, the regime itself at the moment. I am going to see what is happening in China. Split the card. This is in regards to the global economy. It's going to be, there's choices, hard choices that are going to be made, and it is going to be anxious for a little while. Just even looking at phones and electric vehicles and things like that require chips and computer pieces from Shanghai is a major manufacturing area, and these products have all been made but can't have the final step. They can't be sold because of the chips are not being made and not getting out there. So just tell me the global economy with what's going on in China at the moment. Tell me about the global economy using my Golden Universal Tarot, my money cards. Tell me what's going on in the global economy with what's currently going on in China. What's going on in China? The global economy. How will the global economy be affected by what's going on in China? Oh, she was already out and up the right way. a rebalancing. This is a realization that we as societies cannot be reliant for our own benefit on countries that are half a world away. This is about a rebalancing of what happens where, when, how, who, what in the world. And what this is telling me, it's about okay, she's got 1 foot in the water and 1 foot in the land. And what the boys are telling me, okay, thanks Master and Naryn, is this is about, on some things we can be reliant on what comes from the sea, but on others that are essential to us, we need to be reliant on what we build on our own shores, what we create on our own shores. And this is about a rebalancing of what and where, where, when, how, who, you name it. It's a rebalancing. So this is telling me that there's okay guys, they're telling me that this is about a lot of manufacturing being brought back on shore, even to the point, and they're telling me even to the point that Australia cannot be reliant on the US. Okay, we are great partners with the US, Australia. You've got our back, we've got yours. We are great partners, but when it comes to essential items, medicine, technology, food, we cannot be reliant on any other country. Okay, thank you. That's interesting. Because medicine's a big one. Notice with COVID, with the supply chains disrupted, we get a lot of medicines, and the whole world gets a lot of medicines, and the boys are going off on the ball again, from India. But India was reliant on a lot of other countries, for example China, for components of those medicines. So there was a real supply shortage of life-saving essential medicines. So that was just one example. So it's telling me that at the moment the global economy is undergoing a rebalancing. What has happened is that it has been fully exposed, this threat. Now you've got, on the two sides, you've got the wild dog, the wolf, and the domestic dog. So this is again about a path. So crawling out of the word they're telling me is complacency. Complacency, but I would have said swamp because it is a swamp he's crawling out of. But okay. Okay, the boys have compromised and said, okay, just say the swamp of complacency. It is about crawling down out of the swamp of complacency to be fully illuminated and follow this path between what can be manufactured domestically and what can be manufactured in the wild, for want of a better word. Okay, so it is a long path that we have to tread. And it's not going to be easy. I mean, there's a lot of hills and gullies and etc. But it is about passing through these pillars of wisdom, but it's been fully illuminated that this is actually essential. 2 major arcana. Okay, interesting. Base of the reading. The foundation of why this global economy is going through this change is literally disruption and loss. Quite major loss, and the realization of loss, and the acknowledgement that these 2 cups were still standing, that what was that emotional loss because things were not available. People died. Okay, thank you. Because things were not available. So it is very much about acknowledging what we had and realizing what was lost. And that's the foundation of this shift in global economy. In the past was our naivety. Our naivety. That can mean the past, going back to simpler times. A realization we need to go back to simpler times, but the boys are telling me that this is really, it was naivety on the global scale. Okay, crowning the reading. Oh, another major arcana. This was again a full illumination of what went on, and now we're illuminating our path forward. And we have to cautiously make progress forward. It is come down off our high mountain. A realization we need to come down off our high mountain and rejoin the world. But it's about the path being illuminated, and it is also about introspection, about what is really important. Okay. Immediate future. Yeah, plans are being made on the global scale. So there are plans being made to undertake all this externally. It is going to cost money. But it's also about protecting what is important externally, internally. The lawmakers and the cat that sees all, but the lawmakers making changes internally, making it, okay, thank you. Drawn in this card, and I often don't see it, is the abundance of growth behind this lawmaker. So it is about growing, allowing growth within their own economies, making laws to reduce red tape, basically. Hopes and fears, it is literally a crossroads moment for the global economy. You need to take this blindfold off and actually look at the truth and make a decision. Outcome. Okay. Some countries are going to do okay, some countries are not going to do okay, as there is this shift that goes forward. It is about walking away from what is no longer serving us for this global economy, and it is very much about stepping forward bravely, a new start, a new beginning, stepping forward with faith and courage that it will be okay. And here we have the Emperor. So it is... Now what's this Emperor doing here? Okay. So there is going to be a revelation that this old patriarchal way does not work. There is going to be a rebalancing. Okay. Harsh truth has come forward, which has led to this change. Okay, so yeah, it basically, I have read on this before, a long time ago, and what has happened is that it is a realization that the global economy has to change, and it is undergoing this change. However, it is a difficult and convoluted process. Now, getting back to, I told you this was going to be long, I'll try and make the next stage quite quick. Oh, upside down, put them up the right way. I don't read upside down. Enough negative cards for that. I'm just going to use my intuition cards and have a look at the future of, getting back to my original point of the reading, the future of the, I'm going to call it autocratic because that's what it is now that there is a leader for life. This autocratic dictatorship regime in China. Using my intuition cards. These are cards that Master and I created. He's telling me to leave. He's flipped that over twice on me. This is about contracts being signed, agreements. This is the autocratic. Okay, so he's telling me to leave it there. This is the supreme leader for life. I'm not going to read on how long life is going to be for Xi Jinping. I am going to have a look at the process of... Okay, thank you. They're telling me to read on. Is this the beginning of the end? Will the people rise up? Okay, thank you. Will the people tolerate? Will the people tolerate? Tell me the story going forward. Will the people of China tolerate what is going on now that they are aware that the rest of the world has moved on? Oh, feeling really lightheaded. Will the people of China tolerate what is going on now that they realise that the rest of the world has moved on? People of China tolerate what is going on. Tell me the story going forward. Tell me the story going forward. Okay. Interesting 4 cards that flipped out for me. I'll bring you down and we'll have a look. For those that this is new to them, it's literally a story gets laid out in the cards. So this is the moment of Supreme Leader for life. We've got the home front in feminine. So let's see. Where it's going to lead us. Okay. Right, thank you guys. The policies that are in play on the home front in Mother China. I had not observed it as Mother China, but that's what it's telling me. Is going to lead to fearsome transformation that is going to severely reduce technology in the country. Okay, see where it goes. The people working hard for their freedoms. The people are really working hard at the moment for their freedoms. But what's going to happen is a lot of them are actually going to flee in the future, leaving the country relatively empty and in conflict. Not sure what the stop is there for. Right, next line. Okay. Thems that are going to be able to leave are going to leave. Thank you. Leaving the country empty and in conflict. The stop of the rule. The money. Flipping minus anger. Dark clouds. Down. Oh, this is not a good line. What's after that one? Is this new line? To stop the rule's going to take money and a flipping. There's going to have to remove the anger in the dark clouds that is sucking the country down, and this bright illumination is going to be slow in coming. Okay. Oh boy, these are really interesting. Usually I get a positive spread, but these are really interesting. This intertwining is going to be tossed out in a lightning bolt moment. There's going to be a lot of money drained, and with it this evilness is going to be drained through information, through the internet, which is going to lead to the destruction. Going to the internet's going to be crucial and bring about destruction. The positive energy is really going to take time, as there is this loyalty still in play. Love and growth and abundance and rebalancing. Oh, interesting combination. Sadness in the key. So we've got anger here, we've got sadness here. Okay. For the love, growth and abundance to be restored, to be rebalanced, at the moment there is sadness, but the key is going to be this message, this uncomfortable message that is going to be brought forward. This is my jester card. If you think back to medieval times and the monarchy courts, the jester was really the only one who could tell the king or the queen the unpalatable bad news without risking death. But the key is going to be this uncomfortable message that's going to come forward and be spread from person to person. And the rebuilding of China is going to be a convoluted path, but yes, it is going to happen. So the path to this is there's going to be a sadness at this uncomfortable message, but it's necessary. Oh, those are nice cards. So what we've got here is we've got whoever the new regime, the new leader is going to be, they're going to be all-encompassing, light at the rainbow after the storm, the unity of diversity, acceptance on the world stage, and we've got the comfort card here. At the base, this is comfort, this is loyalty. At the base, strength and fullness, but they are currently at a crossroads moment. So strength and fullness are opportunities at this crossroads, and it's giving the go-ahead to seek your fate and destiny. This is, if I say alien influences, but it's not ET alien, it just means overseas, foreign, trust and trust. Okay, interesting path to be followed. This two-headed intertwining beast is going to be out in literally a lightning bolt moment, and there is going to be the loss of this evilness in the face of this technology. This technology is going to bring about. Okay, all I can say for those in China who are how do I put it, boys, who are undergoing this, please be careful, be prepared, but it is the way forward. Okay, that was a really long reading, so I do apologise it went on for so long. Did warn you at the beginning, but I think it needed a bit of a deep delve. Okay, if you've got any questions, if you feel you cannot ask below, please feel free to email me at meistertarot@gmail.com if you want anything further, or you can shed some light on what we've read today. Okay, thank you for joining me. Love to you all. Next reading will be a little bit shorter. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.